this Tuesday. It is the Note Closer Show. I think we're episode like 17108. But today's topic is about investor timing. And that falls in a couple things. I want to first of all thank Frank Viewer for reaching out on Facebook and asking the question about timing and having investor expectations and what kind of falls into it. So what it sounds like is Frank has got an investor who's interested in just lending money to him. Okay? And for the sake of the argument, we'll say he's got $100,000 that wants to lend to him. And he's more interested, okay, he trusts Frank, obviously. He's like, listen, I want my money out. Tell me exactly when I'm going to get my money back, how much I'm going to make my interest rate. And basically, when does it begin? He wants to do basically a flat agreement, which is kind of like I guess you'd say a line of credit. Well, Frank is curious, well, what happens if the asset of the deal takes 18 months versus 12 months? Do I pay him 18% versus 12%? And no. What you have to realize, Frank, is if you're going to offer somebody a 12% interest rate, that's an annualized return. So the deal, if you borrow $100,000 and the deal takes 2 months to do, you're only going to pay him basically $2,000 back, because that's what 12% on $100,000 based on 2 months is worth. Now, if you only end up borrowing $60,000, you'd only pay them back 12% on that 60%, or $60,000. Now, if the deal runs 18 months, inside your JV agreement, you should have a clause to cover, hey, this deal could be 12 to 18 months, or the time of the deal is 18 months or less. All right? And no, you're not going to pay him an 18% return. You're still going to pay him a 12% return on that $100,000, which would be $18,000 when you annualize it out over 18 months. So that's what to keep in mind. As far as when's that kick off, I would have it kick off the minute you borrow the money or fund a deal. So that's the beautiful thing about that, is it doesn't have to be a long thing. It could literally be just, hey, kicking in, maybe you're only using $50,000, maybe you're only using $60,000. If you're using the full $100,000, great. But what you'd want to do is have two agreements lined up. So if you do use $50,000 to begin with, and then another $40,000 second time, have that be a different length of period or different JV deals, so that you're not paying 12% on that full $100,000 if you don't use it. All right, and this all can be written in a JV agreement, simple paragraphs, just A, B, C, D on how do you cover that. Now, another thing that is important out there: if you have a funding partner who's supposed to fund at a specific time and it drags on, we are running into somebody like right now who's supposed to fund a week late, and now we get an email back, oh, it's going to be another 7 to 10 days. That's unacceptable. All right? It's totally unacceptable. Yes. Am I venting a little bit this morning? Yes, I am. It's unacceptable. Because if an investor, if you're supposed to fund, you have a 2-week period to fund, and you're not ready to go, and you may need another, 7 to 10 days, no offense, you need to get another investor. You need to get another funding source to come in and fund that deal, because that's just not acceptable. You should be doing things faster. And if you're, look, I get it. If some people are selling a house, they use the money to off an investment property, it's got to go back in the IRA before it can come back out. If you're using self-directed IRA, I get that. It's called get them involved in another deal. All right? It's called you can't sit back and just sit on your rest on your laurels. You need to be reaching out, marketing to somebody else. This is why you always need to be marketing for money, because you never know when money is going to drag on or somebody's going to pull the rug out from underneath of you. Okay? Because it will happen. And this is literally going to cause some grief on a deal to get closed, because nobody wants to sit around and wait for another possible 7 to 10 days. That's just, we're relying on too many people to get around to do it on a deal that should have been funded a week ago. Can we agree to that?
Yes. Well, not only that, but it took a lot of persuasion to have the hedge fund accept the push.
Yeah. So we've already gone to bat for this individual to get it pushed. Now to have to push another 7 to 10 days, that's unacceptable. The investor on this deal, or the true investor or student, should have been reaching out to other private money sources, because they don't have a lack of them. All right? They should have been reaching out to Plan B, Plan C, when A, first off, drug stuff out. You should have just put that investor A on the back burner for other deals in the future versus just dragging stuff out. That's just not acceptable. And I know a lot of people, like, when they finally get a hold of a private investor, that's what they focus on. Like, okay, versus going out continuously to market. This is one of the things that you have to realize being in this industry. You always got to be closing. ABC, always be closing, right? Coffee's for closers.
Coffee is for closers.
Coffee is for closers, all right? Reach out. There are plenty of people, though, too. What's the funding amount in that deal? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know, because it's been revised several times.
Is it $100,000 or less?
Yes.
So there's plenty of people out there that you could reach out to that would probably be a mezzanine financing for 30 days on this.
Yeah, it's maybe 30 or less. It's about 30,000 or less.
Okay, there's no reason this should take longer. So we'll talk about this off topic, but there's some people out there, some investors that don't want to tie their money up for 18 months, but they're glad to do like a short-term loan, 30 to 60 days, especially for note deals, to allow for your final financing to come in place. And that's feasible. Same thing. You would have like a short JV agreement. So you're going to pay somebody a couple points, 2-3 points, make it worth their time. Because you pay somebody 2 points on a 1 month deal, it's like their money made 24% yield on. Annualize it all out, which is not a bad day. Okay? So that's something that you should always be looking for is you have people that want to put money up for a long-term period of times, people that are a little bit more available to do that. And actually, we have that in the mastermind group, which is really nice. We've got quite a few of our mastermind members that will do short-term financing just to make things stick. And that's a good thing. So, any other questions or comments from people?
Not at the moment.
Not so far. So, whenever you have investors that want to give you money, which is a great thing to have, you got to be making offers and stuff. Now, another thing, I got a text message from somebody who's like, oh, I put in 100 offers. I've never got anything bid. Well, the thing I ask when you've put in a ton of offers is, A, who are you making those offers to? Because we're not seeing them. And B, are the sellers, or the hedge funds, or the asset managers giving you pricing expectations? If they're giving you pricing expectations, which they should, you should probably have some offers accepted by now. If they're giving you price expectations and you're coming in well below that, that is on you, my friend. Okay?
Yeah, if your bids are bad bids,
yeah, if you're exactly,
bids are bad bids.
Yeah, if they're bad bids. You get bad business. Trying to take those bees a couple times straight. Bad to the bone, bad to the bidding. All right.
Reminds me of Overboard, that little boy who's
I know, right? So if you're having trouble making bids and you're not coming in, you're either probably doing one thing. You're probably way too short sheeting yourself on those bids. Especially the asset managers give you a pricing expectations. You have to look at some things on what's going on. Are they... Now, if you're making bids and they're coming in and they've already been accepted by somebody else, that's another thing. You just need to speed for time. But if they're not responding to your bids, you probably are way too low. You're not even in the same ballpark, not ball pork. And you need to be reaching out to the asset managers to find out what's going on. Where am I coming in? Can you help me out? Am I way too low? What was the winning bid on this? A lot of these asset managers that we deal with on a regular basis will share where they're at. Now, we have had some experiences where stuff is just dragging on, which has been just mind-numbingly frustrating. Especially, we had a hedge fund that accepted some offers, and it was taking forever to get due diligence. A month goes by, and now they come back and counter their accepted bids already. Which I'm like, we don't play those games. We're not going to play these games. You told us we had bids accepted at these numbers. There's no reason for the last month why we couldn't have closed on these things, and now you're coming back and telling us that the price is higher, significantly higher, and that the person that accepted those bids, who accepted our bids previously, had no right to accept them. Yeah, well, we're not playing that game anymore. So, I know some people are accepted. We remember a few weeks ago, or about a month and a half ago, we did a note draft where I pulled the whole tape because we hadn't checked out taxes all the way effectively. Well, unfortunately, that fund has just been shenanigans to work with. Mm-hmm. We're no longer wasting our time with them anymore. I mean, it's literally 800 assets that we carved out a big chunk of 200 initially, and the staff has spent about 100 hours diving through due diligence, working back and forth. Not a fun thing. So, thanks, Jen. Thanks, Ray, for working hard on that.
I got gray hair for every hour we spent on it.
Yeah, you'd have 100 gray hairs, exactly.
Now I do.
Yeah. But that's some of the things that we're moving out, though. They're working on different tape that we're looking to make offers on. Like I talked last night on the Note Close show, my goal is to close on 100 assets each month. Really ramp up to, I've done that before, $100 assets a month before, but it was hit and miss. I think I can definitely do it. Actually, I believe I know that I can do it. To close out 100 assets for my own portfolio every month and have some great cash flow coming off of that, obviously. Especially what we're targeting right now, because we'll be submitting out a bid of about 200 assets later today to a fund.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we've got people from the fast track will be submitting some bids in later today or tomorrow. So that's one of the great things I love about people on the fast track is they're taking action usually quite quickly within 48 to 72 hours if they're going through it, which is what you want to do, everybody.
And they reached out, and like you said, there are no stupid questions because they're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So.
Are they reaching out to you for questions?
I got two, And it was just some basic stuff.
Okay.
So.
All right. So yeah, I got an email. I had a webinar tonight, or a recording night at 8 o'clock with somebody from it, but that's okay.
And one of the things too is, as far as the hedge fund that we let go, emails should have gone out to almost everyone. If I missed anyone, but it was basically an apology letter. Let them know the reasons why.
Exactly. So if this was the Imperial assets that we sent out beforehand,
yes.
And if you made bids on it and we're waiting around, Jen should have sent me an email yesterday. I think she did a really good job covering everybody in the last 2 days. Either Fridays when we decided to just go ahead and kill everything, or Thursday we decided to kill everything, quit wasting our time, and then Friday we had the fast track. So I know a lot of people were very respectful and understanding because it just happens.
Yes.
If she missed somebody for some reason, please don't stress. It's not anything personal. It's just that
or if I missed you, need to get an update, shoot me an email.
Yep.
But like I told everyone, that's just not how we conduct business, and we're not gonna have our people going through that kind of shady
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
And the people you did reach out to, or you that emailed back, were pretty understanding about what had happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
And you know what? The biggest thing that we got back was they understood it was disappointing, but they wanted to say thank you for having their back to where they didn't end up losing money.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like what.
They lost money on the front end. We understand that and apologize for that. But when overall came down to it, it's better than spending $90 for your BPO and ONI as opposed to
$90 grand, whatever.
$50,000 on an asset that ends up being a piece of shit anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. We try to watch our investors back. So
Cody Cox had said, I'd seen some of those Imperial assets out on other tapes.
Yeah, they're not good assets.
That was the other thing, is that was supposed to be exclusive to us, and they pulled the whole, they pulled some shady shit. So they got caught out on that too, Cody. So.
Yeah. When we're told we have exclusivity on a tape, we expect to have exclusivity on a tape, especially when we put as much manpower into it.
Yep.
And they're out marketing those tapes to other people. No, we don't play that.
They can only market them because we did the due diligence.
Yeah, exactly. So that happens. Time to time. Just move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea, everybody. And that's the one thing I want you guys to realize, that there are plenty of investors, there are plenty of deal flow sources out there. Don't sit around on your hands waiting for somebody to fund. Keep marketing. If that investor is not going to fund in a timely fashion, move on to somebody else. Another thing, if you have an investor that is supposed to fund something and pulls their money and walks, F them. Blacklist those guys. Remove them from your database, because you don't want to waste your time with those dead fish. Because those dead fish will eventually poison and give everybody else sickness too, because they'll keep pulling their bids. There's a few people that have done that. They will never do a deal with us. Mm-mm. They'll never do a deal with anybody in the mastermind either, because we'll make sure and let everybody know about that.
Not even minutes of call us.
Yeah. Anybody have questions, comments from anybody?
That's it.
So, guys, it's Tuesday. Go make something happen. It's a very busy week. Once again, if you're interested in the Asset and Wealth Summit that Laughlin and Associates puts on, they are going to be live streaming that event this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and I'll be helping them with their live stream.
The website's Grow in 2017.
Grow in 2017. I thought that was NASCAR for a second.
Oh,
it's the lawnmower just went by there. I'm like, are we in Talladega for a second there? My ears giving me funky hearing stuff.
I don't have my beer hat.
Your beer hat stuff. Yeah, growin2017.com. If you use the special code NOTE, you'll get tickets for $99 versus the $199 price. Ooh. You'll have access for 30 days to the videos. You'll also get all the handouts emailed to you from the speaker presentations and be able to ask questions live in there. And I'll actually be helping them run that while I'm in San Diego, helping them get rock and rolling in their first virtual event. I'm excited for them. Aaron and Megan and Laughlin, all those guys are doing such a tremendous job. So we're looking forward to that. So if there's not any other questions or comments, guys, you go out and have a great Tuesday. Go make something happen, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.